so we got some MacBook Pros in 2020 with the updated M1 chip, and they looked pretty much the exact same as the 2019 models, but it looks like in 2021 we're going to get a redesign that just makes the MacBook look so much better. After reading all of these reports from Ming-Chi Kuo and Mark Gurman, I am so excited to make this video and share the info with you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I want to talk about, of course, is going to be the design. So the new 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro looks like it's going to take a lot of the design inspiration from the iPad Pro and the new iPhone 12, which, to be honest, I love that boxy, edgy design. And in these photos right here, I think this just looks like a beautiful computer. There's also reports that the touch bar could be going away. Now, to be honest, I can totally see why they're doing this. A lot of people didn't really use it. Now, this is an interesting one because it is a cool feature. When the touch bar first came out, I was like, whoa, like that's actually pretty cool. But then when I bought the computer, I barely ever used it. I know some people use it a lot, but I would say the majority of people just don't really get the whole functionality out of it. But there are rumors of that just going completely away for the 2021 refresh. Now, this next point is pretty cool. So it looks like there's going to be more ports on the new MacBook Pros, which is awesome because, as you guys know, the last couple of years they've only kept USB-C, and for the majority of people they don't have USB-C devices to plug in them, which caused the whole adapter slash dongle madness where people had to get like 4 different adapters just to use the devices they want to plug in, which is super frustrating, and it makes you spend more money on different adapters, and it's also kind of messy, you know, like just having a bunch of adapters laying around. But it looks like all that's going to change with the 2021 MacBook Pro adding some more ports on there. Now, in these reports they don't specify what ones are going to be added. I don't think it's going to be a USB-A. I think that's just older tech and they're trying to move away from that. And I think it would really affect the design if they went with USB-A, because USB-A is a bit thicker and it's going to make the design a little bit thicker as well, which I don't think they want. What I think they will be adding is an SD port and also an HDMI. I think those are like the top 2 currently for consumers, and I think that's probably what they're going to add on this new model. Now, this is cool. It looks like MagSafe is coming back. I was a big fan of MagSafe. You know, it prevents damage to your computer. If you like accidentally walk over the cord and your whole computer just goes flying, and then boom, you broke it, you don't got Apple Care, and it costs $1,000 to fix. With MagSafe, you know, you bump into the cord, just the charging cord comes off and your computer normally stays put. So it's great from preventing damage to your devices, but it's also just a nice feature to have, you know, just a little click onto the computer, and I think it's just like a nice feature to have. So it looks like with the addition of MagSafe, they're going to be taking away USB-C type charging and making it MagSafe only. Now, I'm sure they're going to make a bunch of fast chargers and everything for the new MacBook Pros, so I'm not really worried about that at all. It's rumored that the shape of the charger is going to be like a pill shape that just magnetically attaches to the left bottom side of the MacBook Pro. To be honest, I'm really happy with bringing MagSafe back because it's just a really nice thing to have. You know, it prevents the damage like we were saying, and the experience of just connecting those magnets is really good. It also looks like the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro are going to have more cores and enhanced graphics and possibly have the M1X or M2 chip, whatever they decide to call it, but it's definitely going to be more powerful than the M1, which was already a beast on its own, so I'm excited to see what else they're going to bring. Now let's talk about the display. So it looks like there's going to be brighter panels, so that's going to be better if you're like using the computer outside or maybe near a window, somewhere with a lot of light. It's going to be a bit better when you can adjust that brightness so that you can still see your screen pretty good. It also looks like the contrast is going to get an enhancement as well, and the bezels on the top and sides are going to be a little bit smaller too. And here's the big one, mini LED displays. So that is a pretty big enhancement for the display side of the MacBook Pros. So far, I'm really happy with all of the changes. Now, when is this coming out, you might ask? Now, Mark Gurman is saying around the 3rd quarter of the fiscal year, which would put us around June, which is when WWDC tends to happen as well. So I totally can see them being like WWDC announcing the computers, then having a pre-order or buy online and pick up in a couple of days. Essentially, they are coming pretty soon. So if you do want to buy like a new 16-inch MacBook Pro, I would probably wait and get the Apple Silicon one, especially with all of these crazy upgrades that we've been talking about. And same thing goes for the 14-inch that's replacing the current 13.3-inch MacBook Pro. I think it's a pretty substantial upgrade, so if you don't really need one like right this second, I would probably wait a little bit as well. Now, the last thing we are going to talk about in this video is is a potential MacBook Air refresh. Now, I'm assuming what's going to happen is they're going to take all of those design changes that are coming with the new MacBook Pros and maybe taking a couple of things away just to kind of differentiate the difference between the Air and the Pro. It will definitely have an updated chip as well, but it looks like Mark Gurman is saying that it's going to be coming out long after the new MacBook Pros. So that's pretty much it, guys. New 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro with a potential MacBook Air coming down the line as well. I would say the thing that I'm most excited for is the redesign of the actual computer. The boxy, edgy design, I just love it. It looks great on the iPads, it looks great on the iPhones, and I can't wait to see it on the MacBook Pro, and then everything will just kind of look similar. Super excited to pick up a 16-inch MacBook Pro in space gray. But yeah, that is pretty much it for all of the news that's available right now regarding new Macs. Leave a comment down below of what you guys think, because this is some pretty substantial stuff. This is the biggest refresh in the last few years, and I am super excited for this one. I was actually thinking of possibly picking up an M1 Mac, but now that I know all of this crazy stuff is coming, I'm probably just going to wait a bit. But that is it for the video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. There's a lot of content coming. Right now, I've uploaded like a video per day since January has started, which is pretty insane, and I'm planning on keeping that momentum going for the whole year. But other than that, thanks for watching again. I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Which is pretty insane, and I'm planning on keeping that momentum. Which is pretty insane, and